The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Trade Union Collective claims that as the agreement to hand over the oil tanks in Trinco to Indian Oil Corporation is invalid, steps should be taken for CEYPETCO to acquire the premises. DJ Rajakarna, the union's convener, says that if the premises are not acquired by CEYPETCO, they will resort to trade union action.
The Trinco harbour is the world's second largest deep-water harbour. The oil storage tanks built by the British in 1930 adjacent to China Bay add to the value of the harbour. The complex comprises of 102 tanks with a capacity of 12,500 cubic meters each. 99 of these tanks are currently functional, while the lower complex comprises of 14 tanks and the upper complex comprises of 85 tanks. In 2003, the tanks were entrusted to the Indian Oil Corporation as per a Memorandum of Understanding between CEYPETCO and IOC. A document was signed in 2003 to hand over the oil storage complex to the Indian Oil Corporation, but that agreement was temporary and stated that a proper tax agreement should be introduced within 6 months. Therefore, IOC is remaining in China Bay in an illegal capacity. It has been decided at present to hand over 10 tanks to CEYPETCO and to give the rest to India. This is a serious situation. Thus far, ships did not have permission to store oil in the China Bay terminal. Now they are building the necessary pipelines thinking that they have the permission. Now they are trying to store the furnace oil there. This could result in the closure of CEYPETCO. Ranil Wickremesinghe may be thinking that this is an inheritance from his mother or father, but this is a national resource.
මේක රටේ ජනතාවගේ සම්පත් මේ නැති වෙන්න යන්නේ රටේ අනාගතේ මරමස්ථානයක්.
Recently, the CEYPETCO Trade Union Collective filed a petition at the Supreme Court claiming that providing the China Bay oil storage complex to IOC is a violation of the fundamental rights of the citizenry. The case is due to be taken up on the 29th of June. Meanwhile, Subject Minister Chandima Virakodi says that an agreement has been reached to acquire 10 of the tanks in China Bay for Sri Lanka. He says that an agreement has been reached to develop the storage terminal for use by both countries.
අපි විසින් මූලිකවම දරපු ස්ථාවරය තමයි ටැංකි 15ක්.
Our preliminary stance was that we required 15 tanks for the country. A cabinet paper was submitted on this matter. Later, Minister Ranjit Simbalapitiya and I submitted another cabinet paper as the co-chairs of the cabinet subcommittee on the energy crisis. The cabinet paper was submitted along with the Prime Minister's cabinet paper, and following talks, we were able to reach an agreement to allocate 10 tanks for the use of the Sri Lankan government. The cabinet paper introduced by the Prime Minister included a diplomatic agreement between the Indian and Sri Lankan governments on intergovernmental cooperation in addition to the oil tanks. As the subject minister, I am bound to execute my duties. I was not personally opposed to this.
අමාත්‍යවරයා හැටියට මම මගේ වගකීම ඉටු කිරීම සඳහා බැඳී සිටින කාර්යභාරය ඉදිරිපත් කිරීම පමණයි සිදුනේ. එහෙම විරෝධතාවයක් හෝ වෙන දෙයක් නෙමෙයි.
The Parliamentary Committee on Public Enterprises, or COPE, had previously informed CEYPETCO that the oil storage terminal in China Bay Trinco should be acquired by CEYPETCO as the agreement to hand over the premises to IOC is invalid.